All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to Andrew's the podcast. Please, as you come in, ring the doorbell. Let me know you're in there. Wipe your feet off. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Um, I am going to touch on a topic here that I prefaced early in the video that I was doing um, earlier. I just want you to make sure tomorrow that you tune into right here at Welcome to Andrew's the podcast. Myself and the mayor will be on, and got a great show for you tomorrow. Um, the organization, give me a second. I need to pull up their website. But I got a really interesting topic that I want to unpack here. So y'all get in here and let's get some people in here and let's talk about this. One of the words that I've been hearing a lot since I've become involved in local politics, and also, Mr. Davis, I want to apologize to you, but what I want to do, I want to come down and I want to shoot that podcast with you in person. So I will reach out to you shortly, and we'll set that up. You know what I mean? Whenever your schedule allows, we'll make that happen. Okay? Because I don't know what's going on. But again, if there's so many different ways that you can support the podcast. One is just by hitting the like button. That's I obviously got gremlins in the system. Obviously, we got gremlins in the system. All right, you see it right there. Tomorrow is a Williamsburg County Council public meeting. This hearing is going to take place at 5:45 in chambers. And what I'm going to do, what I'm going to talk about with this situation with the solar farm. I'm not an expert on anything that has to do anything with solar farm. What I do know is I watched the situation play out in Georgetown County in real time. And I'm a common sense type person. So if I see a situation and I can wrap my head around it, I'm just a simple country boy. So is things need to be kind of simple. Things need to work the way they're supposed to work in order for me to buy into it. And so and I listen very carefully. And a lot's happening where we're seeing. I want you guys to think about this right here um, before we get into this conversation. If you're in here now and you know somebody that works at a solar farm, not worked at a solar farm building it, that right now works at a solar farm, and not one of you can say you don't drive. If you're driving, not, I mean, if you don't drive, you wouldn't know this. But if you drive around anywhere in the state of South Carolina, you're going to at some point drive past one of these huge solar farms. Okay. Um, but I would like you to name somebody that works there, and I'll give you a second to do that while I find the name of the organization that's going to be on tomorrow night. Um, it's going to be a very good and an important show. It's going to be dealing with healthcare. Be one of them shows where I am not um, going to be saying a whole lot because I'm going to be doing a lot of learning. I'll have questions. And let me get the name of this organization. Oh, you did send it that way. My bad. I can find it right here. Again, there should be a couple names popping in there now. I know somebody that knows somebody that works at a solar farm. I don't know what you would do out here at the farm. I mean, I guess maintain the equipment, but all right. So here's who we're gonna have on tomorrow. I'm gonna copy that. Open in a new tab. Let's do that. Mhm. Let's stop sharing there. Again, very important show tomorrow night. And we'll have on this organization. Right here, man. Hey, y'all hit that like button, all right? Because I promise you, this is an important conversation. Okay, because these things are popping up everywhere, and um, there's a lot of language that I want you guys to pay attention to um, as we go through this, right? Because I think what's important here is definitions. It's important that we understand political talk, but we're not talking politics right now. We're talking about this group that's going to be on tomorrow. This organization right here. Let me get myself together. Okay, physicians guide. This is Your Health, and it's a physician group focused on senior care, primary and specialty care at your home or in their office. Okay, a little bit about this organization. Again, get your questions ready. Um, Your Health is a physician group. Your Health is a physician group caring for seniors across South Carolina and Georgia. We deliver value based primary and specialty care where it helps most at your home. Okay. Our physicians' offices and facilities and throughout telehealth. I read that wrong. I'm sorry. At your home. In our physician offices, in facilities and telehealth and through telehealth. Okay. Our care team works with families and partners to coordinate compassionate preventative care so you can live your healthiest life. Okay. And you guys see the website right here. It is Your Health. Go look them up. Tomorrow they will be on, and they will be on with a lot more information. So we'll get into that tomorrow night. Again, you see it on the screen here. Let's remove this now. Waynesburg County Council public hearing 545 thing. So what are we talking about? We're talking about the solar farm, right? And let's hear from Williamsburg County and their position on this, right? Stop this. And again, we're focusing on definitions, guys. When you listen to these politicians talk, definitions matter. And one of the things I want you to key in on is the word sustainability. Sustainability. See how many times you hear the word sustainability where you hear the word economic development. Okay. You're going to hear the word economic development, economic development, economic development, economic development. But the question you the citizens should be asking is sustainability. Yeah, these projects sound good. They look good, but here's what we need to know. The sustainability of it. You hear people talking all the time. We need to build these youth centers and all that. Okay, so cool. We get it built. And then what? 5 years down the road, we can't keep the lights on because we didn't have a plan of sustainability. We didn't understand to not be so short-sighted. And I think when you're talking about these solar farms, but anyway, let's hear from Williamsburg County on this proposed solar farm and this joint economic development project that is supposed to take place between them and Florence County. All right, and this is sped up, and so we can get through this.
Hey, God bless you all and good afternoon. This is Kelvin Washington, the County Supervisor and Chairman of Williamsburg County Council. I just wanted to talk with you all just for a moment about a potential economic development project between Williamsburg and Florence County. Right now, there's a 1,000-acre solar farm project between Florence and Williamsburg counties right on the line. 800 acres of that particular project will be in Florence County and 200 acres will be in Williamsburg County. Of the 200 acres that are in Williamsburg County, only 70 to 80 acres of that property will be disturbed. Now, the owners, which are private owners of these parcels, they have already entered into contracts with this company. Again, I want to say to you all, these properties are owned by private landowners, not the county. The county does not have any ownership rights to any of these particular properties. Now, these companies, these solar farm companies, are required to purchase what's called a decommissioning bond, which is a bond to ensure that they are responsible for the cleanup of these properties. Now, this language is already in our solar farm ordinance, which Williamsburg County Council passed unanimously back in 2024. Now, I also want to mention that these solar farms are strictly regulated by what's called Department of Environmental Services now, but it used to be DHEC. So they're strictly regulated by DHEC. Now, as I said earlier, this is a project between Williamsburg County and Florence County. All of you know that Williamsburg and Florence counties have had a rich history of doing economic development projects together. Florence County has already passed their portion of this project, and they're now waiting for us to pass our financial incentives package. Florence County, I might add, their council passed this financial incentives package unanimously. Every member of the Florence County Council that was present at that meeting voted to offer that financial incentives package for this economic development deal. We're being asked to pass the same financial incentives package here in Williamsburg County. If we pass this incentives package for this company, there will be a 7,000% increase in tax revenue compared to what is being paid now. Folks, quite simply, this is not a political decision, but a sound financial decision. I'm addressing this issue because there are some folks within our community that are out spreading information that's simply just not accurate. Again, I say again, this is not a political issue, folks. This is a sound financial decision that we're being asked to make. And so I'm asking you to please call your council member and encourage them to vote yes and to support this financial incentives package for this particular project. One of the things that I'm afraid of, and I want to close with this, again, as I shared earlier, we've had a rich history with doing economic development projects with Florence County. If we don't pass this project, I'm very afraid that this could potentially impact future economic development projects with Florence County. And I don't think that's a chance that we need to take. So again, I thank you so much for your time. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless Williamsburg County.
All right, now it's not a stretch for me to say that when he says a rich history of economic development between Williamsburg and Florence County, I'm not going to say that I'm going to, because I haven't looked thoroughly, but just given the history of what I've already seen, that is the current state of what's been taking place in Williamsburg County. That's when you talk about the government, when you talk about the police force, when you talk about the school system. What he's saying sounds good. He's well spoken. He's very articulate. And I've heard it all before, right? But what you did not hear is anything dealing with sustainability, right? And so in Georgetown County, how I became aware of this solar farm business or whatever is a situation that was taking place over in Georgetown County, right? Over in around Saints Delight Road, Sampit, Lambertown area, right? And I was there on the ground and I was listening because it became very clear to me that when the public is not asking the right questions at the right time, then they find themselves uh, putting on a large protest at the third, final reading of something where, because these things are done covertly. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, a politician is taken out to dinner here by this company, and they court these people, and they get, and these things are done, and as long as it can be done quietly, then it's not a problem, right? And so, what I'm going to show you now is some of what I captured during the situation at in Georgetown County, and then we'll move a little farther. Here we go.
3 minutes to speak. 3 minutes is just not enough. We repeatedly asked for a public time for the public citizens of Georgetown County to come and present information. And during their so-called public meeting, Silicon Ranch was the only ones that able to present information. Well, I'm here tonight, and I appreciate your time for letting me present this. But just one reason is the application is in the incorrect name. Santee Timberlands is not the owner of the property. But if you look at the application that's been presented to Georgetown County, the name is in Santee Timberlands with Silicon Ranch as the agent. Well, the property transferred. Silicon Ranch has already purchased the property. Therefore, I think Ms. Leona Miller touched on this at the last council meeting, but it just went right over their heads. The property was sold to Silicon Ranch on September the 2nd, 2022. And in the exhibit of the deed, it shows that all current zoning restrictions were conveyed. That would be just like me having some property and wanting to go get a mortgage on it. I had a mortgage application. Well, if I sell that property to you, I can no longer get a mortgage on that property. It's not in my name anymore. This property is no longer in Santee Timberlands' name, so they cannot apply for an application in Santee Timberlands' name. Silicon Ranch is the new owners. They are no longer an agent. Therefore, code of law says that it's mandated that they must reapply and submit a new application. Seems as if their attorney for the county thinks differently. But again, these are just some information. I'm no attorney. I'm just presenting this information. We'll have some people look into this in more detail. The next one is, according to the zoning requirements, this is not an acceptable in a forest agriculture zone. All
right, listen, y'all see that Cash App rolling across the bottom of there. Listen, this is this is where you're going to get this kind of news at, right? And I need you guys to support. If you want this kind of in-depth coverage of stories, I need you guys to support. Okay. I'm just keeping it real. All right.
Excuse me, I'm a little nervous. The application clearly shows.
And what you guys are looking at is the lady that took on the lead, because these big companies that's coming to do this, they not gonna be, you think they like what I'm saying right now? You think the people that's in power like right now, you think they like me? You think they're gonna like the fact that I'm gonna give you the questions that you're supposed to be asking? Right? Because you got people believing that these jobs are coming, and we get the solar farm, the power is going to be cheaper. We're going to talk about all of that, and we're going to talk about the truths and reality about that. Because again, I'm not an expert in this, but these are real people who and I mean came out in masses. And I watched the county council just look at them like, hey guys, this ship has already sailed. Sorry. I know what's going on in your community. I know you want to preserve the area. I know you like, to hunt there. I know your granddads and your grandparents. Yeah. But we got a plan for you. Economic development, right? And let's find out exactly how much economic development, because I ain't seen nobody yet. Maybe let me check the comments again. But nobody has posted the name of anybody that they know that works at a solar farm. This is the same story that they came with. Let the people tell it. I'm talking too much.
Shows that it's industrial plant. And to quote, and this is the application that they're viewing tonight, the future land use LFU map for this area shows low density residential. Even though the proposed use of solar is green by nature, this is a more industrial, did you hear me? Industrial or semi-public use. Industrial is not allowed in parcels or tracts of land zoned forest agriculture. Therefore, this request must be denied, and it does not meet the zoning requirements. Also, it does not comply with the comprehensive plan. We therefore request that the County Council deny Ordinance 22-27 and Ordinance 22-28. This is another one that I really didn't want to touch on, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because, like I said in the meeting, we do have a meeting with the Attorney General's office. He has agreed to hear us. But Silicon Ranch applied for construction permit with the South Carolina Energy Commission. It's called the South Carolina Public Service Commission. And I was able to contact them and email them, and case number 2022-93E and 2022-97.
Again, guys, you may know somebody that lives out in the Lambertown area. Talk to them. Ask them a question tomorrow at work if you work with somebody that lives out there. This is what's going on out there. This is what they dealt with same language, and we're going to get into, like, they were promising me jobs, and and you had Raymond Newton, you had Georgetown County Councilman Raymond Newton in council meeting. I got to find that video. He said it was a problem because no local companies were getting any of the contracts to do this work inside Georgetown County, and he found that was a problem. Well, if you set it up as a local initiative project or something like that, made some stipulations like that, then maybe that would have protected it, which on its face would let you know that this has nothing to do with the local. This is about whatever they got going on. Like the kids say, facts. Let's go.
And it shows that Councilman Morant, Holly Richardson, and County Administrator Angela Christian were all served in regards to the application of SR Lambert 1 for Certificate of Environmental Compatibility and Public Convenience and necessity, for the construction and operation of a 100-megawatt solar facility in Georgetown County.
And this is a little community going up against the county government. She just named off the county administrator at the time, the chairman, and all of these people. And here are these people who don't have the resources that a county government has. The only resource you got is your vote and your presence.
And then it goes pursuant to the codes of law. But this is what really saddens us. No one replied to the summons and notice. They were notified to elect this commission that this land was not zoned for solar, that it was low density residential, but no one.
And what they're going to say is that has nothing to do. It's a totally different situation. No, it's a situation where the government is telling the citizens to kick rocks. We got a bigger plan. We know what's better for you guys. Even though we don't do the research, we don't do the numbers. And let's talk about the numbers, okay? Let's talk about the numbers. Because what is the economic reality behind? Because you kept hearing that word, economic development. Economic development. Economic development. They got you again with that word, economic development. They got you again with that word to vote for that penny sales tax. But here's the truth about the economic development. When these things over this shoulder here, when these things back here get built, it's companies that's coming from out of town to build them, right? The workers are usually specialized workers that come in from out of town to build them. And then once they have built them, the jobs leave. There goes sustainability out of the window, which is the reoccurring theme here now. Let's go. And then what are you left with? You're left with a few permanent local positions. That's what you're left with. I just told you a situation where in Georgetown County, where the whole, the problem is that who's going to get these contracts to even build this place? Which, I mean, it's Williamsburg County, so who knows? You know what I mean. But he talks about it like this is just, it's got to happen. It's going to be so much economic development. You know what I mean? What about what about, okay, this is a power generating place, right? So how many power benefits do you actually get from these places? I know people that live literally across the street from solar farms, and they'll tell you there's no power benefit from that thing being there. Now, as far as health benefits, I don't know. I'm not an expert. I don't know what the science says. Maybe I can get somebody on here who's much smarter than me who can break down the science behind it. Because I'm sure if part of that guarantee from the people, a lot of people don't even know what's happening. A lot of people just too busy with their damn regular life to even understand, to even try to break down these complexes. They figure, hey, we voted for you, and you're going to do the best thing for us and our future and the future of our community and our children. That's supposed to be the agreement. Guess what? That is not the reality of it, in my humble opinion. Somebody get in the comment section and tell me, no, Jamal, you're wrong. I have one of those things a quarter mile down the road from my house, and my bill is a third of what it used to be. Again, we need to get some people up here from Clemson, you know what I mean? Some of these environmental, folks, quote unquote, tree huggers, whatever. these experts need to come in and break this thing down. That's the thing about it. When you come in, you gotta break that, like, you know how when you gotta break some food down for a baby, you gotta feed it to me like I'm a baby, because this is not at the front of my mind. I don't know what y'all out here doing with these things. One of the realities is that you know what? I tell you what. Here we go.
Those trees.
Right.
The water table has risen.
Right now.
I mean, that's
It's flooding over in there.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I put 1.5 feet of backfill in my lot, and it's starting to soften back up to where I can barely drive on it.
It's first meeting I did.
They have not did their surveys. They did their surveys with 6,000 acres of trees.
Silicones is doing a survey.
Yes, I agree.
Exactly.
And
I agree.
Georgetown County is not helping us at all. Those people on council, it's my first one, but they're not helping us. It's all about money. It's all about money. I know.
Now, these are not politicians here talking. Did you hear what that man just said? This is the people talking now. This ain't me. This me. I'm just recording what the people is actually saying. You know what I mean? I know I'm putting these fancy words up here, and it looks like I know what I'm talking about, but I just follow along very well, and I understand common sense. And this man who you looking at on the screen has been out there on that land, working that land. None of them suits in that office that he pointed to, that's just inside of that, on the other side of that hall right there. None of them, like you said, they ain't do no real surveys.
Those people on council, it's my first one, but they're not helping us. It's all about money. It's all about money. I know. They're going to destroy that property out there.
Yes. Yes. And it will never, I don't care what Silicon Ranch says, it will never go back to what it was.
No.
Never.
After 40 years.
Well,
of
and the thing
bad
is, they get on these solar panels, and what people need to understand, they say they're recyclable material. They are. If you want to spend millions to tear them apart layer by layer, and therefore it makes it not worth
I don't see how They
recycling.
can do it, but
That's,
there's everybody out there.
And these politicians will call that misinformation. And the one thing I've learned is that when people have a real dog in the fight, people aren't stupid. People realize that there's some powerful tools at my hand, and they can do their research. I deal with it daily. By the time I get to people's house, people know what they're looking at when I'm about to perform a service or not, because they've done some research.
No one, I don't think anybody wants it.
well,
Y'all gonna have to please go somewhere else and talk. They can't hear.
it's not enough of them showing up.
Oh, they kicked us out of the hall. And they was like, y'all got to get out of here because and this is a reflection of, again, if you guys don't have an organized, when I say you guys, the communities that's going to be affected by this, if you don't go in there with an organized front, nobody's listening. You got 3 minutes. And if you're not some kind of person that speaks for a living, like a pastor or somebody that does professional speaking for a living, boy, that's a lot to compact in a little bit of time. And you're nervous, you know what I mean? Because of public speaking, it's not a natural thing that people just get up in the middle of a crowd and just start speaking. So. But the gentleman was talking about those panels, okay? And 30 years, 40 years from now, when these politicians are no longer politicians and our children have to deal with what's to come, we don't have a crystal ball to look into the future. Of course, the people selling you this is going to tell you, "Oh no, it's fine, it's cool. I promise you, it is. Just sign right here. Listen, you're not going to have any issues with this. I promise. Look. Hey, look at that. Look at the way the sun is just. Look at those panels just soaking up the power. I guess Mr. Washington said that that question is baked into the contract, which now we need to see the contract. Here's some more questions you should be asking tomorrow at that meeting. They're not going to like these questions, but this is not a like or dislike. I don't give a damn what you like or dislike. If they got a problem answering these questions, then y'all know what y'all got to do. And you heard Mr. And see, the reason why these questions keep coming up is because they've reworked the script. Oh, okay, boom, boom, boom. They didn't have these decommissioning bonds and all this other stuff. So they had to, so now it's just like, all right, make sure you mention that. Make sure you mention economic development. Just keep saying economic development without talking about sustainability, without talking about what is the real. He said $7,000 ink. That place must be going be big as damn. And he's saying it's a small. What he's saying doesn't match up. But again, I'm not an expert on that. We'll figure it out, though. We'll figure it out. And here are the questions that you got to be asking, you guys. Who benefits and for how long? And if it's not beneficial to the people, because they keep saying $7,000 in tax. So, okay, so what are you saying? That is somehow that tax revenue going to be allocated for that area where that solar farm is affected, so you can do green projects in that area? Or are you just talking about, you know what I mean? You're just throwing numbers out there. How does that $7,000 translate to the people? Are the people going to get some kind of damn rebate back from this? That's the bottom line, cuz. What? Calm down. And just like this gentleman said, did you guys do these studies? Did you do any studies? And if you did the studies,
I didn't get enough information.
Those people on council, it's not the first one, but they're not.
Surveys. They did their surveys with 6,000 acres to where I can barely drive on it.
It's first meeting.
They have not did their surveys. They did their surveys with 6,000 acres of trees.
Silicon is doing a survey.
Yes, I agree.
Exactly.
And
I agree.
Georgetown County is not helping us at all. Those people on council, it's not the first one, but they're not helping us. It's all about money. It's all.
And see, this gets at to where, you know, we get caught up in these black and white issues when in fact it's a class issue. Okay, there's certain neighborhoods that they're not putting this in, and it ain't because you're black. It's because you don't, you know, you're not of a economic status, or that area is not really involved in what's going on the government on the government level, on the county level. So, you know, we don't have anybody in that area that's really keyed in on zoning and these types of things. So if this is a deal, I would say, in my ignorance, would be, if this is a deal with these are private landowners and these private, to let them do that. Let them do what? Why does the taxpayers have to get involved in? Why do the taxpayers? And just because one county signs off on something that has nothing to do with what's right for that, you guys, don't let nobody bully y'all into that foolishness because they voted you. Now, they may all be idiots. They all may be geniuses too. But you need to deal with your constituents on what they need, not based on Again, this is just opinions now. And because of these opinions, I do need you guys to support. The Cash App is right there on the bottom of the screen. You can buy some stars, or you could just simply hit the like button. And they're going to come and say, it's going to be green. It's going to be green. Everybody's going to be happy. So these are questions that needs to be asked tomorrow at this meeting right here at Williamsburg County Council meeting, public hearing. But something's got to be done as far as getting this word where it needs to be at to get the people active, and so they're not just hearing one side of the argument. And just because somebody say the word misinformation, that don't mean nothing. Not all the time. Because there it is. If it can't survive honest questions, it's not progress. You don't need a few people to get a job and be happy for a couple weeks, couple months, because they're building this monstrosity of a thing right here, and then 7,000%. He's at a 7,000%. So now I need to know what the tax. Somebody please find out what the tax. 7,000%. Ooh, boy, that sounds great. Who wouldn't want to go for a 7,000%? Just sell you that. I damn near sell my soul for 7,000%. Come on, man. 7,000% of what though? And for how long? Because the word for 2026 is sustainability, guys. Okay, I got something here. Let's see. Michael Renford, King Street Town Council District 5, 7,000% increase for this two properties equals $51,000, man. So now the question would be, if these numbers are correct, the question would be, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Okay. The county is going to get $51,000 more dollars. You don't have Tiffany Cooks there no some more, so you don't have to worry about it being misappropriated. At least we hope not. But let's see, 80 acres on the open market is over $650K. All right, Mr. Wren for Town Council, would you like to come on screen? Because me reading that kind of confuses me. But let me finish up here, sir, and then we can set up something. But y'all need a real comprehensive investigation done into this. Somebody needs to be on the street really putting some attention into it, because again, these arguments continually morph. When I say they morph, they smart business people. They readjust, you know what I mean? Wherever they run into a problem at or questions come up here and there, and they go back and they reformulate it. And because like that in the case of this situation here in Georgetown,
Responded.
this was done, this was reworked. Here she was talking about the fact that the lease, excuse me, the here, I'll let her say it.
The legality as to why council should vote. Thank you so much for being with us. We just left county council meeting where we did not get an opportunity to share the legality as to why council should vote against the solar panels. We get 3 minutes to speak. 3 minutes is just not enough. We repeatedly asked for a public time for the public citizens of Georgetown County to come and present information. And during their so-called public meeting, Silicon Ranch was the only ones that were able to present information. Well, I'm here tonight, and I appreciate your time for letting me present this. But just one reason is the application.
And that's a lot of weight. But I don't mind, man, because again, these people don't have a platform. And then these news organizations, they bought and paid for. So they ain't gonna give you, they give you a sound bite, a few minutes on it. That's why y'all gotta hit that Cash App and support these local, you know what I mean? And make sure you tune in to Welcome to Angels, the podcast on tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And oh, look, we got a superstar in the building, guys. That's Miss Brandon. That's Miss Amy Brandon, who was on there. Good luck to all. We put in a good fight, and they damn sure did in Lambertown community. But as Jamal said, the people did not understand what was happening, and now everyone wonders why their electricity has skyrocketed. And so that's opposite of what people actually think. People think, oh, solar farms, you know what I mean? No, it's not what's happening. And our politicians are selling us out. I'm telling y'all. I just don't give a damn about offending, which it shouldn't be offensive. The truth, if the truth hurts, God damn it, say ouch. I just don't mind it. I don't mind telling you whatever and then walking in the same room with you. So y'all see, it's not just happening to, and now, right? So let me button this up right now because I'm getting close to the end of where I should be at. Amy, I do need you to come on live one day to kind of help talk to these people, man. Because you're listen, I know you put hours and hours and hours into collecting that information and being, you know what I mean, because you were there for your people. It's happening everywhere. All these little small pockets. But Georgetown County Council so there's a fight going on in Georgetown County, right? Where, for those of you who are from Williamsburg County that don't know, there is a ongoing effort, an ongoing project to develop a new municipality in Georgetown County. The reason why this came about is because of situations where the county council was not responsive to what the people were saying. The people were like, listen, stop with all this development. Stop with all this rezoning. You even had these commissions that were appointed by the council that was these zoning, these planning boards and commissions that were saying no, or this won't be a good move. and they were pretty much giving them the 2-finger salute and just going on with siding with these big companies. And again, these are people you're voting for. So, but we, the people, have to be there, and we got to be at the planning stage. We can't be at the once they already and went and had these steak dinners, and you know what I mean. And then they got them out council and say, okay, so listen, we need you because that's your region to vote no, and then everybody else will vote yeah, and we'll put on this theatrical performance, and that's what happens at these councils a lot of time, in my humble opinion. But what's happening in Georgetown, I'm sorry, let me stay on track so I can wrap this up. That new municipality is proposed from Devido, from when you pass Devido all the way up to just before Huntington Beach, right? And this would be the largest municipality in Georgetown County. Now, currently, the sheriff of Georgetown County is playing politics, saying that, you know, they're going to have to come up with some more money in order for him to patrol inside Georgetown County, where he's elected to be the sheriff at. I know it's just crazy. But anyway, and so because the council's not listening, and if you see what's happening in Horry County, you see what's happening in Berkeley County, you see what's happening in Charleston County, it's being developed at a fast pace. And the folks on the Waccamaw Neck are saying, no, slow down a little bit, guys, but they're not listening, right? And so now the Georgetown County Council just passed, or just I want to say passed. I got to reread it. I can't be 100% sure, but they're now focused on mainland Georgetown County, right? And so they just passed or proposed. Again, I'll have the exact thing tomorrow, right? A rezoning for I think 185 housing development just east of the 9 Mile Curve going back toward Georgetown, which gets into another issue that Georgetown County has. So if that's the case, then I would just kidding. I would just definitely educate myself. And I know Miss Amy should probably reach out to her, because like she says right here, you know, all the facts she could share. So much has happened. People would be mind blown. I truly hope you can bring awareness. I'm doing what I can right here, Miss Brandon. So it's just not enough people are aware or understand the urgency of this. You know what I mean? And I mean, to be honest, some of us is just so damn selfish. We're not even thinking about the future or what Georgetown County and Williamsburg County is going to look like for our kids, for people who been, in my case, let me see. That's over a couple 100 years that my family's been in Georgetown County. You know what I mean? So literally, it's been a couple 100 years. It's been a couple 100 years. Probably more. Before my people got here from Europe. I'm actually European. actually identify as a European. Anyway, man, listen, I hope I did some service to this. I hope I brought some awareness to this. Again, tomorrow, make sure you tune in to Welcome to Interested Podcast. We'll be talking healthcare tomorrow. I don't care who you are. That subject resonates, or it should, or it will at some point in your life, I guess we could say that. But guys, I appreciate you all for coming in and commenting. Again, I hope I made some sense and bringing some light to what is happening to us in these towns and communities. I appreciate the donation there. Mr. McCleary, again, y'all make sure y'all join us tomorrow. We got a great show lined up for you. No doubt. Michelle, I know Michelle is a part of bringing awareness to this. And I'm going to tell you what I tell you, people are good. I like that country song, but Michelle's thing is bringing awareness to the Black community. Michelle's is not a Black woman, and she is adamant about it. Like, she's a highly educated woman in the field, in the areas that would know and has spent some money on this thing. And so, yeah, let's get it done. That's all I can tell you. Because it's not a Black or a white issue. It's a human issue. And that's what it's all about. So, esta mañana. In times of trouble, you need someone who knows the law, knows the community, and knows how to fight for you. The law offices of Caesar McKnight, right here in Kingstree, South Carolina, is committed to protecting your rights and protecting your future. From criminal defense, personal injury, to family law. When the stakes are high, experience matters. And so does someone who listens. Call today and get a competent, passionate, and effective legal team on your side. Because when life hits hard, you don't have to go through it alone. The law offices of Caesar McKnight, justice for real people, serving the Kingstree and surrounding South Carolina communities. Call now or visit the website today or stop by for a free consultation.